support and resistance from your previous day. Plus you've got your after hours here. So what we're doing is we're waiting until this breaks one of these two ranges. And obviously we can make this go a little faster by fast forwarding, but so is there opportunity to make money off of playing a bounce off of these? Yeah, sure. The problem with that is that at the open, prices, it's most volatile, and unless if you've got a sure trend break or a sure range, you're really putting yourself in a position where you really don't know what's going to happen. So at this point in time, what you see on the chart for MBEV, you really shouldn't have taken a trade yet. It's just chopping around. So we'll let it keep playing here for just a minute. You see that support line right here where my mouse is at, how it just doesn't want to violate that line. Now, in this case, you're not going to want to just jump in if it violates this line, and the reason being is because you still have support right here too. I mean, sure, you get, a 6-cent move, but I mean, is it really worth it? What if it hits this line and then shoots through the roof, and then the next thing you know, you're on the bad side of a trade and you just lost 60 cents. So at this point in time, yes, still considering that it's possibly going to go short. We're also going to want a line down here. Now there's a couple ways to play this. If it's not violating these lines and you feel like it's strong and it's definitely going to go up, you can use these two marks as a support and resistance line. Me personally, I don't typically do that. If I'm looking for an open and range break, I'm either looking for it to plow through down here and keep going, or for it to break highs and then continue to go up. So again, right now, no trade. We're kind of just bebopping around. On my chart, so all I have right here is just the VWAP. That's it. I usually have a 200 SMA up here too. Which, for those of you who don't know where to find a 200 SMA or your VWAP, you just go right here to this little beaker. Go to SMA and then click your momentum SMA. I have no idea where I put it at, but it's on there somewhere. All right, so right now what we've got is, at this point in time, we've seemingly found a bottom. It's come up, and at this point, we're starting to get a base here. We're trying to test the VWAP. We're not making it through. It's a good candle of strength. Another entry point that you can use would be the VWAP. So if this candle here closes above the VWAP and you're 15 minutes in, 10 minutes in, then as long as it's above the VWAP and holding, then you can certainly take it long there. But again, right now we're still in indecision. I mean, you don't want to get involved in this. Thank you, sir. All right, so as you see, we're holding the VWAP here, so it's looking good. And again, what we're looking for is that open and range break. Now, do they always work? No, they don't. Sometimes they'll go up, touch it, and just fail. That's where your level twos are going to come in. You're going to be watching the number of buyers versus the number of sellers. As you see popping up on the bottom there, you've got, I mean, there was 10,000 that just popped up there for a second versus our number of sellers is fairly small. Right now, sellers are a little up there, but that's probably those that took a long off the beginning here, or those that shorted and were looking for it to actually fall, and now they had to cover. So right now we're still looking good. Price is strong, approaching our breakout point. We're close. Now you got to watch, because sometimes price will get here and just immediately reject. So, and sometimes it'll get here and just run through, guys. This isn't, it's not ever 100%. That's why you keep tight stops. And if it doesn't go your way right from word go, then get out of the way. Don't try and stick in there and hope for the best. Just get out of the way. So here we're trying for that breakout, trying. And we didn't get it. So now we wait. What we want to see right here, though, is we want to see price hold this VWAP. So we don't want it to, that'd be another good indication as far as, the overall trend is concerned, is if we can hold this VWAP and not come back down towards the 311 or the 307, that's good. Again, that gives us indication that more than likely we've got some room to the upside. But as far as from here to here, you just don't want to be involved, in my opinion. I mean, you get a good leg down and then you lose it all. Then you get a leg down, it's just, this chop is not what we're looking for. We're looking for the breakout of this. All right, so we're holding VWAP. Good support so far. Now, if we hold VWAP, since we're 30, 40 minutes in, what we can do is we can use the VWAP as our support line. And if we come back down and try and test, or for instance, right now we could go long. And what we would do is to use our VWAP as our support mark. So let's say we went long with the bounce off the VWAP on this candle. Your entry would be right at the 332 mark, and your stop loss would be the 327. So as close as you can get to that, the better, because obviously that's your support and resistance point. So here we are testing the breakout again. And if you draw a line across the top from all your wicks right here, you're topping out right here, right at the 346 mark. So if you see it comes up, touches 346, comes back down, touches 346, comes back down. That's where the buyers are trying to decide, hey, are we going to take this thing long or are we not? So right now we broke highs. You're going to take it long at this point in time. And what we want to see is we want to see it hold this support mark from our opening range breakout. At a worst case scenario, let's say you got in heavy, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to keep your stops at this, say, 341 mark, no less, no greater than the VWAP at all. Anything less than the VWAP, you stayed in too long, given where we put our entry at. Right, correct. Now that we've got our breakout, what we're going to do is we're going to crunch our chart in. And that's not enough time in this particular a 1 day, 1 year chart. All right, so 1 day, 1 year from where we're at right now, we've actually broke our resistance point at 363. And our next point of resistance is going to be up here at this 383. And then again at 395. And then obviously up here at the top. All right, so we got all our support and resistance lines. Now you see what just happened right there? We've come down. Now, granted, yeah, it came back down to our entry point. If I was paying attention, we could have exited up here. But basically what happened is price came down and it's testing. See what just happened there? Came down, tested it, and just an immediate huge explosion of buyers. So that's a good thing. What we're doing is we're holding our support mark. So once we broke out of this resistance point from yesterday's close, we're obviously really, really strong right now. It depends, Garen. Sometimes not at all. Sometimes it can be 2 or 3 times. I prefer not to hold it all the way back down to the retest. Like right now, we're going to hit some resistance up here. I'd try and start phasing out some up at the top. But you can see how we can't. It's like everyone's trying to decide, what do we do? What do we do? And we just broke out. So there's again another resistance point. We broke through it, but we're holding it. So some of it's off of the 1 day, 1 year. Some of it's off of, close of yesterday. I'll back my chart out so you guys can see. I know it looks really small right now because after hours is so big. I don't know how to crush that without turning it off. But basically, our opening range breakout was right here from yesterday. And then basically the average of, the middle of all this right here, that line. And then I just drew this extra line because we did have some support right here. I think that's pretty insignificant in this case, but we did have some support there. Our real key point is right here. This was our key point. We want to go through the highs of pre-market. So again, right now, we're holding good. We're holding support. Now, in a real world, you guys should be taking profits by now. We're not completely getting out, but you're in a stock that's $3-4. You don't know what's going to happen. So at this point in time, you might want to come off with half, just to do it. Now, if it's strong and you feel good about the trade and it's, it's holding all your support and resistance lines like it's supposed to, and everything that you've drawn out just appears to be working, then trust your gut, trust your trade. Don't second guess yourself. Read the chart. I mean, you see the lines on the chart, you see what the trade's doing, trust it. It's busy. It's basically got more volume today than it's had, and I just know this from looking back, but it's got more volume today than it's had in years. So here we go, about to test again. Now, obviously, but usually your whole dollar marks, $3, $4, $5. So we might reject hard off of this $4 mark. Right, but it plowed right through. So yeah, you're going to be watching, you watch your level twos and see where your sellers are at, where your buyers are at. Just kind of take a look and feel out the resistance to it. So at this point in time, I'm feeling like I got a doji candle. So it's a candle of indecision. We're up at the $4 mark, kind of at all-time highs. Well, we are at all-time highs right now. So when we're at all-time highs, a stock has no limit to where it can go. So if it's going down, it can go to zero. If it's going up, breaking all-time highs, it's got the momentum. It's got everybody in the market watching it. Everybody's excited. So, I mean, it can really, really, really run. I'm sorry, it's not at all-time highs yet, guys. It's still got resistance up here. Once we break through all-time highs, that's when they can really run, because they don't have all these resistance lines. They just start to sprint. So as you exactly, a good example is TLRY. That's correct. So as you see right here, we're kind of having some difficulty with our $4 mark. So that 410, it's like, do I want to go? Do I not want to go? So again, at this point in time, it's probably a good idea to go on ahead and take some profits. You can leave some on the table, but the issue becomes this. All right, price has to do something. It's not just going to sit right here and go 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent. It's going to move. So it's going to continue to either go up and hit here, or it's going to come down, but it's not just going to dance right here forever. So when it's going to come up here and hit, one of these times where it's going to get rejected. It's going to happen. So let's go on ahead and we'll take 3/4 of our trade.
You want to explain the case?
So that's resistance from a previous day. So if we can't break through these resistance points, let me see if I can find a better chart.
I think the thing to say, though, is the candles are actually compressing and getting pushed downwards. So you see the movement changes and basically...
Right. Correct. So you're right. So right now we're at $4.24, which if you look at my chart right now, that's basically all-time highs for it as far as I can remember. No, 772 is. All right, so anyways, here we are. We're at 426. If we break out of this, our next stop is going to be up here at this 448 mark. And what I'm looking at is, see this chart back here? If you look all in through here, comes up, touches, comes up, fails, comes up, fails, comes up, fails. So what's going to happen when we get over here is it's going to come up and it's going to touch. It's going to come up and it's going to touch. So, exactly like what it's doing right now. It's struggling to get above that. And then here again, you got to look back on these things, guys. See right here, from right here all the way across. This is all resistance. So until we break above this,
You guys should hear me now. And you should be able to hear him through.
All right, so, and like Garen was saying, you really, really should study candlestick patterns for any of the guys in here, ladies, if we have any that don't understand candlestick patterns. right here, that was that doji candle or candle of indecision. And again, we're coming up, like for this red one here, we're coming up, we're touching, we're getting bought back out. So you see that wick and then another wick. What we call this is double topping. So with that double top, that's a good indication that, you know, it's coming back down. We're getting there. We can't touch it. So now we've come back down. We're still holding our 200 shares. And, you know, at this point in time, you're asking yourself, all right, so what do I do? Do I bail? Do I hang on to the trade? Well, currently, we're still holding our support mark right there. So we drew those lines. We're still holding. Now, if we start to plow through those and we hit the VWAP and then smash through the VWAP, obviously you want to get out. My particular case, I'd be out right here. When we broke this 394 mark, I'd go on ahead and flatten the trade and just kind of wait and see what happens. So let's just go ahead and do that.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Problem is once you violate this line, now your support has become resistance, okay? So you just got to be careful. Your support's become your resistance. So really what we're looking for right now is our out should have been over here. A strong down candle. We hit this, we break. You might not have had time to get out. You get a good green candle, another red candle. At this point in time, you should be out of this trade. So you're out of this trade. What we're waiting for is another breakout. So we're looking for this thing to break $4.24. Until then, we sit and watch. Now, if it does happen to nosedive, and, you know, because these things, they can do that. If it happens to plow down here to the $3.12 mark and it holds, we're going to take it long again off this bottom support. Same thing goes for the VWAP. If it plows down and hits the VWAP, we're going to take it long off the bounce of the VWAP. So as of right now, we're looking good. She's coming back up. Again, our proper exit would have been up here. So technically, we would have saved ourselves here. Could you have held? Sure, you could have held. Problem is, you know, what happens if it breaks this 384? Then what? Can you still hold in a swing situation? Sure. But as day traders, what we're doing is we're getting in, you know, on our breakouts, and we're usually getting in pretty heavy. And we want to make as much money as we can, as fast as we can, and then we want to get out of the way.
You can also trend line off those 3 lows now. Well, actually, you got 4 lows.
Meaning, what are you saying, Garen? Like draw?
Yeah, you got a trend line from first bounce of the day, and then the bounce on the mid VWAP, and then that next bounce off of pre-market high.
Which is true.
Yeah, so you can trend line that as long as it holds the trend, and that's what I've been studying with Spartan. Is as long as that trend holds, you hold a small position, maybe like an 1/8 of a share or 1/8 of a position.
Yeah, the problem is that we didn't have a trend line to begin with until we actually had a fall on it.
Yeah, usually I like to have 3 bounces before trend lines confirm.
And basically what Garen's saying is if you guys see that line, it looks really, really busy right now. And most charts aren't this busy. It just so happens to be this is a inexpensive stock that has a lot of stops. But what Garen's saying is that diagonal
no, they're not, Sam.
I drew on the chart there.
Oscillators aren't necessary.
As long as we don't break that line, technically the stock is still going up. So violating that line would be, you need to get out of the way. Something bad's about to happen. So
Trend reversal.
Right. So here again, if you look, what we're doing is
Skyler's a 15-year trader. By the way, I watched him make $10,000 Friday.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches that we've come up and tried to touch it. Now this is good. It's we're breaking it. You just got to be patient, though. We're not looking for it to break above those 4 candles. What we're looking for is the explosion. We're looking for the meat of the move. We want to be outside of this box. We don't want to be.
Yeah, he's price action trading, Sam.
Usually, what I tell people is when I'm trading, I want to take the bulk of the ride.
He's purely price action.
And I'm going to sell to everybody that's going to ride in the chop. And then when it breaks chop, I'm going to buy. But I want to be selling to the guys that are sitting in consolidation. I don't want to be sitting there. I hate watching my P&L go up and down and up and down. Plus, it's just not predictable. You know, we don't know what's going to happen. So there we've got to break a trend.
Getting there. It's pinching. I think I'm lagging a bit on your YouTube. Yeah. What's your timestamp right now? How many seconds are in are you?
My time is, I'm on fast forward, but it's 10:52 a.m. on mine.
What seconds? What's the seconds?
09, 11, 14, 18, and they're 30 seconds delay if you're listening to me on YouTube too.
Yeah, so I'm delayed right now watching your streams. You did get a trim break. All right.
I just synced it with the YouTube, Garen.
We'll have to get you set up on Twitch.
All right, so here still, I mean, we got nothing going on. Right now, what's happening is people are deciding, am I going to buy or am I going to sell? The problem with this is when people decide to sell right here, it's going to act like a rock, and you're not going to want to be involved in that. And this just isn't predictable. If it explodes to the upside,
not really,
we got
Sam.
time.
I mean,
we got time to get in. You can have a market order in.
Maybe in commodities and ETFs, but equities, I don't. Yeah.
So still holding price, not holding.
Who'd you come from, Sam? Are you a Ricky student?
If you watch these candles form,
he loves Mace D on.
I know you guys are a little delayed, but so right now, the way this candle's acting,
and Mace D is built off of price action as well. So whatever Mace D tells you, price action will tell you
like
quicker than that.
There. Somebody's saying, nah, I'm still going to buy. She's coming down. $3.99. See that big wick on the top candle? Still hanging at $4. But again, price can't just sit there at $4. It's going to move. It's either going to go up or it's going to go down. And right now, we're having a lot more trouble going up. So it's easier for it to fall. So there we've got our break of trend. Some of you might be saying, all right, well, why don't we short it right now? Well, I guess you certainly could. But the problem is that every single one of those lines that we have drawn there, that's your support mark. So until we bust through those lines, you know, you got to weigh out your risk to reward. And when you're in a strong stock like this, you want to try and stay with the trend. Until you're really, really experienced and you know what's going on, don't fight the trend. Just the trend is your friend.
Probably worth noting that the strongest supports and resistance other than whole dollar, half dollar is also the VWAP and the 200 SMA.
Yeah, that is 100% correct.
So to short it now, you're looking really the difference between 397 and 361 before you hit the VWAP.
Then
correct.
What I would say then after that it'd probably be the 30-minute range and then the pre-market ranges.
That's correct.
And then yesterday high and low.
Now, if we go down and we crash through, remember we were at the open there, we drew price down here.
Yeah, I just did that.
$1.99.
Jigsaw.
We got one over here at this 276. Here at this $3 mark. In this particular case, if it comes down and cracks this $3 mark, I'd be thinking real seriously about shorting it pretty damn soon. I'd probably give it a little bit more room down to this 275 mark-ish, depending on how fast it's moving and what it's looking like, and then we'd go ahead and nail it short.
This would be a lot more interesting, of course, if it was a more expensive stock and you have more to the downside.
Yeah, I kind of just picked this one because.
What do you mean you're no one's students?
Tim Sykes, the lesser expensive stuff.
So you're a Tim Sykes student? He doesn't use Mace D.
Another 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes, and then we'll get out of here. Let's just see what happens at this break. So again, it's looking good. Everybody might be thinking, hey, let's take it
I'll be
long
back.
right now. Well, sure you can, but you still haven't broke that range. So from $4.10 to $3.95, that's basically what you're working with right now. If you were to try and take a trade here, you're just bopping around, bopping around, bopping around. That's it. Maybe that's a little better for you guys to see. You're just bopping around. Oh, there we go. A little something. And what we're trying to do is, by not taking it right here, we're trying to prevent a fake out. So let's say you went long right here for the break of this. You just got faked out. So it came up, shot up to 415. Now you're right back to where you started and you lost money. If you look at these candles where my little mouse is at right now, see that's we call that double top. So right now we've got a real keen, we've got a resistance point at 415 and then 424 because we came up, hit it, and then you see that big wick down.
Hey, babe. What? Can you look at that salmon and see if it's done?
All right, we got to get out of this consolidation. Like I said, this is the stuff that you do not want to be a part of.
And what does?
Unless, of course, you didn't sell and you're riding it from down here, then, by all means, hold it if you want to. In fact, if you're entered in down here, technically, you're good until the break of, $3.50. So if you're trying to look at a long-term position for this, you could give it to here, or even more yet, give it down to, if you're going to swing it and you plan on holding it for a few days, give it to the $3 mark.
Temperature check, I think, fish is 160. Cold.
All right, there we go. Are we going to break this time?
26.
Are we going to break? Nope. Well, maybe. We're trying. That was quick. That wouldn't have given you time to get in. And that is a classic example of a fake out right there.
It's good to wait for it to close above.
Correct.
He's a girl. Huh?
Keep eating.
Yeah, that's a classic example of a breakout. So like Leg was saying just now, in this particular case, what we want, and if the boat leaves without us, it leaves without us, guys. Don't chase it. What we want to see is this candle come up, bust through, and then we want to see it, open the following candle. We really want it to open up above this 425 mark or at this 425 mark. We want this line to turn into our key support line. So again, we're trying. See if we can get through this time. If we get through and we close above it, then we take it long.
So you don't. Sorry, let's get back. You don't take downtrend triangle breaks long.
Not if I'm looking for an opening range breakout. No.
Okay.
All I'm doing is I'm looking for breaks of key support and resistance. That's it. I don't use trends. Like Garen's saying, you can draw a trend line here now. If you don't break that line, it's going long. problem is that as we build up into this wedge, price is going to get, these candles are going to get more compressed and more compressed normally, not always, but normally. And then finally, when you get in this corner, you get an explosion. So you're either going to get an explosion to the upside or an explosion to the downside. But something's going to happen.
I was talking about the downtrend triangle, taken at that big bull flag, bullish engulfing at like $4.10.
Okay.
Do you ever take longs there?
I do, but in a stock like this, I don't. And the reason why is because, you know, you got 10 cents. You know, unless if you're in it real heavy. Now here we go. We're trying to break. If you're in this real heavy, you know, you got 10 cents to the upside. Your risk to reward's just not there. So your risk is falling back down to $4. Your reward is coming up to $4.22. So I mean, it's a little bit better than 1-to-1, but it's not quite 1-to-1. All right, so this is a perfect example of why we want this candle to close above this line.
Oh, babe. Oh.
It's trying.
What?
I wish I could learn to trade in a day so I could make $10,000 and buy more clothes.
Now, another option in this particular case, we've come up and we've tested this thing 4 times now, okay? Chances are we're probably going to see a little bit more downside. We may come up and try and test again, but the more times we test this and don't get through, the more likely it is to come down, collect again at a stopping point, you know, build a base, and then start building its way back up again. So what we're going to do is, you know, we'll build another support mark.
What's this stand do?
So right now we're breaking trends. So like I said, technically, if you wanted to, you could probably short it right now. And what you would do is you would use your 423 as your stop. In this case, I think you have a lot more potential. There you go.
Somebody was in chat.
So intraday, again, you know, if you're looking at your support and resistance points, we've built support right here. So, you know, right now we're looking for an entry. We're trying to figure out what are we going to do here.
Doing it again on stream.
Ooh, that one was nasty. All right, so now we've failed. All right, so what we're doing now is we're looking for 2 key points. Number 1, we're looking for price to return to the VWAP. VWAP acts like a magnet, so it's either going to come crashing down and get somewhere down in this area, or we're going to test and hold right here. But you see how relevant these lines are? That line was drawn way before that candle happened. And look, you've got a support mark. That was that line we drew right across here. But remember, you also got a resistance point right here too.
Guy asked in stream, how do you day trade with no RSI or MACD? Those are essential with volume, pretty much trading blind.
Well, I know a lot of traders that trade with 2 indicators, and they don't use MACDs, and they don't use RSI and Bollinger Bands and all that stuff. You need 2 indicators. You need a VWAP and a 200 SMA. Some people like to use the 13 SMA or the 15 SMA for trends. They're extremely good and powerful, but RSI and Bollinger Bands, in my opinion, they're kind of worthless. I mean, you can trade with them. They all have their purpose, but you don't have to have those to be a successful trader. I can tell you, I can give you 5 people right this second that don't use it that are very successful, Spartan being one.
Yep. Do you not normally use multiple time frames? Do you not use FlexGrid?
I do, but I only got, with only having the one screen showing, Garen, I didn't want to chop it up into 4 pieces. So that's another good thing that to answer is yes, I do use additional time frames. I trade off a 1-minute chart. That's just my preference. I've learned to read through the noise.
This isn't me
A lot of
clock. This
people will trade
I'm
with a
hosting
5-minute
Skyler,
chart. It's a little bit,
but I am trading mostly price
a
action.
5-minute chart.
My strategy is baseline price action, then everything else
It just
afterwards.
really depends on what your preference is. Again, normally what I'll have set up will look something like, I'll show you.
Do you run the 1 minute, 5 minute, year daily, and then month daily?
Yeah. So I just threw the SPY up there just to have it up right now. But yes, usually what I'll do is I'll run a 5-minute, I'll use a 1 minute, a 5-minute, and then a 1 hour, 30-day. And if it's depending on the situation, I'll use a 1 year, a 1 day, 1 year. And the reason I'm doing that is that's given us, obviously this right here, these are key support and resistance points. Once we've gone through and we've broke out here, then we broke out here, we filled this gap. So we filled that gap. In fact, it looks like we closed right at the gap fill. Overnight, we gapped up above the majority of our resistance here. So that's meaning it's bullish. Now we've fought basically all this. So at this point in time, now we're just trying to see, into what direction do we go. I'm gonna put it back on the 1 minute on the big chart so it's easier to see. All right, so for the sake of time, I'm just gonna hit fast forward real quick.
Why is he doing this at night? Why is he doing this at night?
All right, so
this is community backtesting. He's basically walking people through a
right now
backtest from
it's 12 o'clock. We're going into lunchtime. And if you look at the chart,
basically anybody that's watching,
broke out, but we're kind of having problems.
Sync.
Okay, we're going into lunchtime. We're having problems. Lunchtime, everything slows down. I know all you guys trade
platform
every day. You know this, but if you guys don't trade every day at lunchtime, everything slows down. It's you got to be very, very careful with your breakouts and breakdowns during lunch because you just don't have that same volume.
Trading.
You see your volume here?
So it's not that hard thing.
These are all your volume bars. So
this
basically what we have is good volume.
This is
volume,
we're watching MBVE right now.
Got a little spike in
September
here,
19th.
and now we're kind of got diminishing volume.
Thursday?
So the less volume, the harder it is to get price to move, or the more volatile it can be without, it just spike. You get into real low volume stocks, and they'll spike out of nowhere. You get 1,000 shares sold, next thing you know, the thing's through the roof. That's why you got to be careful with volume. You want to make sure whatever it is you're trading has volume. You don't want to see a chart.
What's going on with currency and oil? Clocked?
Let's see. Like this. You don't want to see a chart that's got, dashes and, big gaps in it, no volume. I mean, right here, there's 2,000 shares sold on that candle right there. That one only 200. That's 1,000, 2,000. 296 versus 217,000, 390,000, 160, 180,000. So I mean, just there's the total number of volume flying through this thing is just enormous right now. So we're gonna fast forward again just to kind of get the party moving here, see if we're gonna get a breakout or a fail. There you go. There's your fail.
You're on the wrong screen.
Hang on, I'm going back so you guys can. Yeah, I'm gonna go back so you can see. Everybody can see the setup.
Now, do you have a 9-watch setup where you watch all these tickers that you're doing at the same time, or do you just set alerts and come back to them?
So I have. You guys can only see one screen right now, but I'll have 2 windows with 4. So let me just pause this. I'll have 2 windows with 4 set up like this, but all 4 with the, buy the ask and all that good stuff to where I can transact on 4. So I'll have 2 of these windows sit just like this. Sometimes I'll remove the news on it, but
I don't follow a whole lot of currency. What's that mean for oil, though? Why are you watching oil?
For me to see. So I'll have 2 windows like this. I'll have.
And are you in the Discord, Clocks?
2 windows like
I feel like you're in chat a lot.
Without anything on it, just simply charts on all 4. On all 9, and I'll have 1 of these for long positions, 1 of these for short positions, and then my 2 order windows, 1 of each. And then I'll typically keep open 1 big window, like what we were just using, just to have it if I'm looking at something extremely close and I'm getting ready to take a position. But for the most part, I'm trading off of this, off 4 windows right here, 4 stocks, 4 windows. And then I can actively trade more than 1 stock at one time.
It's probably worth highlighting as well the method you use with the open range breakout actually gave the largest move of what we've seen this morning, at least.
All right.
Definitely.
And that is true. So we don't want to be, again, we don't want to be here. This was I guess you could say this was our risk, technically, although we really weren't risking this. We were risking a lot less when we entered. But we weren't here. We took it from 340. We didn't sit in all this. And even if you did sit through this, you really haven't gone anywhere, all right? So we know what's about to happen just because you guys saw it, but let's just watch the pattern, and I'll try and explain what I'm looking at and how I'm going to be able to tell you that it's going to fail. All right, so we're going to go back to play.
You had a minor downtrend, it looks like, lower highs.
It does. So you got lower highs. That's true, too. If you look, that's down. It's not like these. These are up. That's down. So basically right now, what I'm looking at is this thing's failing. When I saw this happen and these wicks, this thing's starting to fail. What's really going to happen here is if we crack this $4 mark right here, that being the whole dollar, if we crack that, we got problems. Before that, if we crack this 407, we're going to see $4. Remember, our strongest support right now is the VWAP. That's volume weighted average price. So that's anybody that's above in the trade that's up here is above water. Anybody in the trade down here,
so that's all the
money. So
the correlation stuff I'm not good at. I haven't learned that yet.
Away, so
what's all connected with what?
Board,
Hell, I don't even really know what happens to gold when the US dollar moves.
This and test is definitely not uncommon. It is very, very common to see. Come back, you'll test it, and it'll build pressure up again, and everybody will, it'll build momentum, and we'll get a run. So it's either going to run down or it's going to run up. If you wanted to short this, really what you would have wanted to look for was the break up here. This whole section of support, if it broke this, is when you would take it short. Or let's say you found it right now. You'd take it short at the break right here. If this breaks, you go.
I heard about the FOMOC.
Your stop would have been
not entirely sure of
$4.09. But this break right here, you take it short and just
I still got to learn all those
hold on. 90%
news things.
Of the time, things go short a hell of a lot faster than they go long. So you're going to see a dump. It'll take you all morning to get up to $4.25. It's going to take you 3 or 4 minutes to get down to the bottom. So here we go. We failed $4. We came up, touched it, didn't want to go above it.
Jump into the Discord, Clock. We got 1,000 members. We're in there all the time talking and shooting the shit.
Boom. There you go. There's
A lot of times, even
price
even
coming
when the
down to
stream's
VWAPs.
off, we're,
Right now,
we're
what we're
still
doing is we're looking for an
sitting in
entry right
voice talking about stocks.
now. All right, are we going to hold VWAP? That's the question. We haven't bought anything yet. We're waiting. We're not trying to just jump in and catch a falling knife. We need it to reverse. That is the worst thing you can do, is to try and catch a falling knife.
So why didn't you short it there?
I mean, you could have. I just didn't.
I did.
Situation. You did? Well, I mean, it's a good short. All right, so we're holding price at the VWAP. Boom, you just blew through it. So now what happens? We just hit our next support mark is our open at $3.49. Let's see what happens here.
I think I'm going to promote this live stream video in my next video. This is really good commentary.
All right, so if you look at these, you got long wicks, right? We're going to talk quick here, but you got long wicks. We came down, we wicked out. We got a doji candle right now. We're coming up. We're testing $3.71. That's our resistance point this morning where we took it for a breakout. I'm sorry, that's not. It's one of our resistance points that we drew. Touching VWAP. We're looking good. We want this candle to close above VWAP and hold. So if we want to, what we can do is we can take it. Let me just watch here.
Yes, Skyler's no bias.
So we're touching
Trinity,
VWAP.
he can
Looks like
he
we're
does
holding
long
good.
or short.
Still no trade. We have to confirm the reversal here, which right now what we're doing is we're building higher lows.
This is what I struggle at. What's confirmed? What is confirmed reversal? Because I see these on dailies as well, and I always fuck up this pattern.
So usually what I'll look for, and this isn't a perfect one, and it may be because it's not reversed yet. Usually what I'm looking for is a big candle down, a candle of indecision, either an equally big engulfing green candle or red if you're going the other way, and then a compression candle like this, just a half candle, almost like a springboard. So you want a compression candle, and then your next candle, you're going to want to see it explode. And you're going to want to see it explode every bit of above this candle right here, more reasonably up here above this $3.86 marker, this resistance at 384.
He's got a 30-second
right
delay
now,
as well, guys, so keep that in mind as you're
looks
watching.
like we're reversing, but we're getting wicks.
You can't see it on yours, but the 200's just there, where it touched and then pushed back down.
Let me pause it real quick. I thought I put the 200 on here. Oh, I see what's wrong. Hold on.
So we're basically sandwiched between the VWAP and the 200 SMA at the moment.
What do I think of DGAS? I haven't looked at DGAS in a while. Honestly, Clock probably knows more about DGAS than I do since he's a commodity trader. Downtrending.
Okay,
I mean, it's
much
DGAS.
better.
It's
All right,
always
so like Leg
downtrending.
was saying, that's what we're missing there. Okay,
It just
so
range break for the
I know
short
they're both
side.
the same color.
I'm
Let me
short
fix
on
that.
it on the daily. Let me show you. I'll show you my screen real quick while we have
I hear
time.
How often do you use the EMA?
I
So
never use
daily
the
charts on the bottom. We got a 10-minute here and a 1 hour here.
1 second. All right,
So range break on the 200 SMA on my
just get rid of
hourly.
these two, just so
That
it's
looks
not
really
confusing.
bad.
We got
Short.
enough crap on here. I don't even use this much crap.
Range break
usually.
on the.
So if you ever want to remove your bands on your VWAP, there's your upper and lowers.
Line.
There's a little
there.
box here.
So,
where does it say it? Show study. Remove that.
We got a range break on the daily, which DGAS is always short biased on the daily. Yeah, I see it coming down to 1750. Now, what it's going to do intraday, that's entirely different opinion.
All right, so.
But
I think we lost it on yours, Garen.
What'd you say?
I think we lost my screen on your stream.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about DGAS real quick.
Okay, all right. So back to where we were at, guys. This yellow line is your 200 SMA. Your 200 SMA is going to act as support and resistance also. In most cases, a lot. I'm using
TradingView
your 200
instead
SMA
of
is really
Thinkorswim
probably
clocked.
Your strongest support or resistance point, and that's because your 200 SMA is going to be at the same point on a 5-minute chart, on a 1-hour chart, on a 1-day chart.
You making brownies?
It's universal across the board, so a lot of people use 200 SMA. So right now, what Leg was saying is, yes, we're building higher highs, but we've got this 200 SMA above us. This is a huge, huge point of resistance right now. And then we got this 382 above it. So let's just let it play.
Yeah, 200 SMA is a massive. Any time frame, you usually see bounces on the 200 SMA.
Between our VWAP and our 200 SMA.
The bigger the time frame, the stronger it is.
Until this right here gets above this 200 SMA or above this $4 mark, I'm sorry, this 385 mark, I'm really not interested in taking it long. I really need this to close above this 200 SMA and above this price point.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Will you, since we are below the $4 mark, if this thing trend breaks on this flag, will you not take it short until it breaks the low end of the flag, or well, it's going long, it looks like. But if it did break down, would you take a short as soon as it broke that flag trend, or would you wait for it to range break the flag?
In this particular case, if I didn't take it right here, Garen, I ain't taking it. I'm either gonna take it up here at this $4 mark or 408 where it fell before, or down here below $3. At a minimum, I want it below this 350 mark at this point in time. Now, the reason being is because where it's at right now, it wouldn't surprise me if it fails. It's going to come back down here to this 350. So, to have the 84 to 50, is that a good risk to reward? It's decent, but it may hit that and pop back up so fast that you don't really get a chance to get, to really get a fill.
It's good to see. I think I'm maybe slightly ahead as well, but how now the 200 or the price both actually are helping and acting as a support level now.
Right. So right now we're looking for a long position. We're above the 200 SMA. What we're looking for, though, is we want to break this $4 mark, this $3.95 $4 mark. Before we jump in it long, we want up here. And I'd
you guys want to follow his
long down here.
Follow his YouTube.
So let's see what happens here. We kind of failed. We double topped, or we came up here and wicked out, and so again, basically what you see right here is what we wrote in right here, or what we didn't want to be a part of.
There's his YouTube. If you guys want to start subscribing to him, he's probably going to be making more videos. He's building a computer right now to start making better videos.
If you would have bought a bottom bounce,
I've been showing him video editing as well.
If you would have bought the bottom bounce on this, sure, you could have came up and got out here and scalped. And, if you're quick with hotkeys, get in and get out. Go for it. It's a huge risk for not a lot of reward. So let's see. We're going to come back down and test. So we just failed the 200 SMA. So that's leaning me towards something, more than likely we're going to test this VWAP. Let's see if we can fast forward a little bit just to kind of, actually, we might be getting ready to do something here.
You took one trade today on this one. Is that the right P&L?
Yeah, I've only taken one trade.
Yeah. So $365 for one trade.
Alright, I gotta do some
So here we go.
admin
We're going to
stuff,
test the
so I'm not gonna
VWAP.
be paying
Bam, we
attention.
failed. This is why you don't jump in during this. This just wasn't the right setup. And your risk to reward just isn't there. So we failed. What we want to see, though, is we want to see support hold down here at this 350 mark, preferably the VWAP. For it to come down and test again, that's all right. You know, because we're at this point in time, we're looking to buy again, and we don't want to buy the top. You know, we want to be, if we're going long, we want to be in it down near the bottom, where our risk to reward is at its best. So here we go. What are we going to do here? So we fail in the VWAP. We got a nice double bottom here. Oh, we're violating. That's not looking good. But the wick came down. And if you look, the very bottom of this, that the indecision candle, that doji candle, right where this one's dojiing at again. See if we can find a triple bottom or a double bottom here. The more times we come down and test this and don't go through it, the better we are. Now, obviously, if you come down and test it 4 and 5 and 6 times, then chances are it's going through it. All right, so here's our reversal pattern again, Garen. You got a doji. You got an engulfing candle building. We're holding. A little bit of indecision. All right, this one's looking good. Got another doji. We should get a little compression candle. Let's see what we get going on here. Our main key here is we don't want it going down below that green doji candle. We want that where we've got that double bottom equaled out right here. Boom, right here. We want that to be our bottom. That's it. All right, we look solid. So in my particular case, normally what I'll do is I'll take it. I'm watching. I'll take it long right here. But what we're going to do in this particular case is we're going to be technical, and we're going to wait till we get up here above the VWAP. If we get above the VWAP. Okay, that's good. That's good. Candle strong. Watching for entry at this point. Want to come up and test this 372 and get up here above this VWAP. Yes, we still have fears of that 200 SMA being there. So if you're worried, you know, a little bit about the 200 SMA and you don't want to, you know, because it's a strong support and resistance point. If you're kind of worried about that, then you can wait till it closes above the 200 SMA. But remember, in this particular case, the further we get around, you know, beyond this double bottom and, you know, this support mark here, the further away you have to where you've got support for your trade. So if it does happen to dump, you know, it's dumped, but we find support here. So if it dumps, this is probably where it's going to stop at. So we're struggling. Again, I personally would have entered in here, risking to here. But for the sake of quote-unquote class, we're going to kind of do it more technical. We want to be up here. We want to be above the resistance before we take it. And I honestly may get stopped out. If it comes down, I'm done. But that's the chance I take whenever I enter a trade early. You know, before I have confirmation that we've actually reversed trend. All right, so it's looking good. We're struggling, but we're trying.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Clocked.
So candle's opening. It's kind of touching the VWAP, so I'd say don't quite grab it long yet.
Yeah, it's looking like well, right now it's a double bottom.
Still waiting. Now you see where I said I would have entered at? Price came down, we caught support right there. So if I would have entered there, that would have been kind of an assurance to myself that, hey, this is you know, this still might work. Like I said, breaks down to here or down to here, I'm out. I hate to fast forward. We'll wait just a second. All right, so again, we're testing that 370 mark. Getting rejected by the VWAP.
Pre-market, yeah. Pre-market high,
The thing
bounce.
you can watch, guys, is we want to see volume start to come.
I would have taken it long at pre-market double bounce.
Down at the very bottom of the screen, you see
maybe triple bottom. Looks like we're getting a descending triangle.
Typically, in a situation like this, what we're going to want to see for this breakout is we're going to want to see increasing volume. So we want this volume to grow. That's another good indicator that price is going to be moving. When you get those volume bars up there. All right, so right now we're just about even with volume from the previous candle, starting a new candle. It's building a bull flag. And when I say bull flag, we've got that trend. There's your line. Remember what we said, the closer you get to a pinch, the more volatile it's going to get. So chances are right now it's either going to pull back pretty good or we're going to get a good bust through. Got it just pinched. All right, there's our break. It's good. It's good. We're holding. We're holding. Price just closed above the VWAP. Still holding. Well, no entry yet. She's pinched up in here good, though. Something's going to happen. There we go. There's our big, there we go. All right, now we want this candle to hold. Oh, that was a little late. I was trying to push two buttons at once. But anyways, we're going to go long. I pushed the button a little late, but it's all right. Holding trend. We're good. I really want to see it crack. Yep, there we go. There's our bust.
Don't get information overload, antisocial. I would say you baseline. Yeah, price action. Exactly what clock says. Price action is the mother of all technical analysis. If you learn price action, all of the other studies, all of the other studies, indicators, strategies, they're all built off of price action. So learn candlestick patterns, learn just price action patterns like descending triangle, ascending triangle, flag breakouts, dojis, bullish engulfing candlesticks, all.
We're holding still. That's a perfect example of why we want price to be above the VWAP. Now that little indecision candle right there, that makes me nervous.
It's all based off price action.
Now, if I was really trading right now, I'd really probably consider reducing my size a little bit at this point in time, and that's just something that you guys will get with experience. I'm not saying I'm scared or nervous. I think it's still a good trade for us. But if we come back down here and we keep touching this VWAP, it's gonna be tough. What we really need to do is, I'll feel a lot more comfortable if we can break this double top. Now it's a triple top, so we're good. I really want to see price above this 383. All right, price is above the 383, so we're good. It's looking good. We're holding. Next stop, 200 SMA. I really, really, really want this price to hold. Ugh. Here's a perfect example of sometimes you kind of can't help but get stuck in a little bit of chop. Let's see what we got here. We're still holding. Not nervous yet. I get nervous down here. I really don't want it to cross 380. All right, there we go. Yeah. We're holding. All right, come on, baby. Give it to us. There we go. There we go.
Football in my face.
All right, testing the 200. Again, see we're almost triple topped here. You know, from this candle across to here. Draw your support and resistance marks, guys. You got a whole intraday chart to work with right now. There's your resistance. Boom, look at that. Blew through it. That's good. Next, now our resistance is $4. That's the key here. We want to be above $4. There we go. Next stop, 417. 415, somewhere in there. And when we crack through this 425, if that happens, we got a lot of room to the upside.
Off to the races.
All right, we're going to hit fast forward just to kind of see what happens here. As soon as I get this Discord message going. All right, so I just fast forwarded it. All right, so this is not pretty, but it's not horrible. If you see right here, this candle, we came down, it got bought back up again strong. So it's not horrible, but what we really want to see is this 421, 425 go bye-bye, and then we sit above it, and we do work from there. Here we go. Now, if you weren't in this trade yet, let's say you didn't take it long off the VWAP, you're waiting for an opening range breakout. What you're going to want to do is you draw your line across the top. Say you missed the trade, whatever, it's running, it's on its uptrend again. If we were to extend this line, she looks good. We got her uptrend. You're going to want to take it long for the break of $4.25. So just because you didn't get in down here at the reversal doesn't mean you still don't have a trade. You're looking for your opening range breakout or your high day breakout, sorry. So what you do is you go in and draw your trend line, or draw your horizontal trend lines. And right
yes,
now,
it's on demand on TOS. This is a back testing.
So in this case, depending on size, this being a lesser expensive stock, you can go in a little heavier. But let's say you did purchase down here, and you're riding here. You got a good trade on your hands. It's solid. You're feeling good.
Can I get a mod, Jigsaw or Zen or anybody that's in here? Can you periodically post? Welcome to backtesting 919.
Winning trades. They'll add the losing
yada
trades,
yada yada.
Which is a very very bad habit.
I'm doing Discord stuff right now.
But most people don't add to winning trades for whatever reason. They just don't do it. In this case, we're going to add to a winning trade. So we're going to wait for it to crack 425, and we're going to add to the trade if it gets there. Now, given the position that we're in, obviously we're not going to hold this forever. We're going to take our money. If this thing comes down and breaks trend, and we come down below this $4.10 mark, I would seriously consider taking some off the table. Even right here, if it comes up and tests 2 or 3 times. Now, the problem is we rode it this long. I'm not going to sell some now. But, you always want to take profits too. So on this big run right here, maybe you want to get 300 shares off or 100 shares or something. Just put something in your pocket just in case this thing does come back down and fail. Because if it comes back down and fails, what did we...
Yes, you can antisocial. That's how backtesting works on TOS.
You want to be quick to take money.
You can see up at the top right here, September 19th, 1344. This is the current time that he's backtesting. So if you're watching this, you can sync your backtesting to this time frame, and you can watch along with him, and you can trade the stock that he's trading. So it's good practice for newbie traders.
Nope. Good Lord. I wish this thing had like a 5 times forward button. So we'll finish this part right here, and then if you guys want to move to another stock, we can do like the open on 1 or 2 and then just be done. I just wanted to kind of go through one to show you guys how how do I read a chart? What do I see? What I'm looking for, breakouts or breakdowns. What are my points that I'm looking for? All right, so we failed now. Still holding the 412 mark, which was where I was saying, if it gets this 412 mark, I'd seriously consider taking some of my money. let's for the sake of time, let's just fast forward just a minute or two. As soon as Garen's off my screen, well.
This is Stock Rocket, Skyler Perry. He's a specialist trader in my Discord. He's a 15-year.
We're still holding that
day trader, price action. He focuses price action VWAP 1 minute.
That key point of 425.
So he's a fast, if you're watching from
so even though we fast forward a few
Spartan Trading, he's
but again we
more similar to AJ than he is Spartan.
Breakout.
He's all price action based.
I didn't get a chance to add, but there's the breakout.
But he's a very good trader. I trust him. He's helped out a lot in my server, and he knows what he's talking about.
Right here, you got you got your post, and then your your indecision candle, your springboard, and then wham, there you go. So now we could have added here, but you're really, really late. I'm going to fast forward just a minute just to see what we got as soon as Discord disappears here. As far as, I'm sure everyone's saying, well, when do you take profits? Well, you start doing it really, really soon. So at this point in time, from this breakout right now, we really wanted to add down here, but we're going to go ahead and sell. We're going to come out 1,000 there. Looks strong. Looks like we're going to break again. You could technically add for the break here of $4.69, this key resistance point. The only reason I know it's key resistance is what we do in the beginning. We look back. So if we break this, we should break with authority. Give it 6 minutes. Let's just see what happens. All right, well, we came down and failed. So again, reason why you want to take profits.
You're eight viewers off 100, Skyler.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so here we go again for a breakout, right? Remember we were talking, if you wanted to add right now, so when we break this key resistance point, you could technically add to the trade. Now, the further we get away from price down here, the more this thing gets extended too. So you got to be careful. You want to go adding in at the top and then losing your money. So for right now, what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and sit. And since we're getting this triple top and we're already here, we'll go ahead and hold for a second. If price comes back down, we'll go ahead and sell another 500. There we go, new high. There we go. We'll take 500 there. And in this particular case, and obviously you just let it ride, and you pick a line in the sand, set a trail and stop, do something. But you're in a position right now to where your entry is all the way down here at $4.46. Is that right? No, that's my average price. Well, our average price is $4.46, but technically, if we wouldn't add it up there, I mean, we entered down here or at the break of $4.25. So you're up 86 cents on your money right now. Give it a little bit of room. Let it work. Put your stops down here at $4.50 and let the trade do its thing. And when you get to this point on a stock like this is where, like Garen was saying earlier, you always got to look back. So we're going to go, 1 year, 1 day. And that's not long enough. So let's do a 3-year max. Okay. So here's price. You guys look over here. You're focusing on this part of the chart right now. You don't care about this, and you don't care about none of this. And these options are something else. Don't worry about that. But you're focusing over here. So right now we got price at right at $5, a whole number. That's a very, very key point. So technically, I'd be looking, to really start lightening my hand here. But in the same token, given the momentum and the volume and all the stuff we're seeing, if this thing breaks $5, next step is 530. After 530, next step is up here at 550, then $6. Then basically all these lines that are drawn out. But so you've got.
I'm gonna try to do scheduled antisocial. We've talked about doing backtesting.
Where does it go to?
For the community?
There's nothing in the chart
twice a week
to give it any.
It just depends on how busy I am, really.
Basically, that's how I.
Skyler's currently building his own computer and trying to get set up with streaming,
and
so he'll be able to host these whenever. Right now, I'm super busy trying to help out Spartan and shoot videos and do all my stuff on top of that. But I'll try to host these when I can. We'll probably try to aim for Sunday night, maybe a Sunday night, and then we can do post-market analysis afterwards. So newbie traders can get some good practice in on
we can rewind back. I don't know how many people are here, if people can write in chat or whatever.
On demand, backtesting, and then we can go into post-market analysis and charting. And I'd love to get Spartan in here as well. I've invited him into the backtesting, but he's crazy busy right now trying to get the server and everything set up.
I don't claim to be the best. I am profitable, but so if you got questions, I can try and answer them. If not, if you guys, I don't know, you want to pick another stock, somebody in chat. Y'all want to do another one, at least the open? Call it.
Yeah, and all those that are in here from Spartan's Trading, he's also in the server, so you can ask him questions there as well.
So anybody have a question for Spartan? He is a fantastic trader, one of the best I've ever seen. I usually don't listen. I don't want to say don't listen because I listen to everybody, but I wouldn't take advice from many people, and he's solid. He's from the few days that I have had the chance to listen to him, he has a lot of information in his head that I'd love to learn.
I haven't even done any post-market clocks. I don't have a watch list.
In the meantime,
I'm watching MU short.
Does somebody want
I remember that because I was trading it Monday or Friday. But
Can I pick a ticker?
Yeah, go for it.
Can we check out ASTC?
Does it have volume?
Yeah, a little bit millions.
Yeah, let's see. Alright, so this is obviously, I don't know anything about this stock. What is it, biotech? Let's see, this is a bio. So, yeah, we can't trade this one, dude. I mean, we can trade this one, and again, this is something that fascinates me with Spartan. Spartan catches these low floats like this, and I don't know how he does it, but he is surprisingly extremely accurate on these stocks that have low float, or you get a chart that looks like this and just very, very low volume, and he's good at predicting volume coming into him. That's something that I'm personally not great at. I'd love to learn it, but I've seen him do a couple now that have truly been fascinating. And I've seen him throw some options plays out there, getting ready to expire options 7 cents. And he'll tell you, hey, don't load the boat.
Discord link is in the description, Matt.
You're going to lose all your money. And when I say all your money, whatever you have invested, whatever your risk was, say $300. But literally within 30 seconds, they were worth double. And then a minute later, they were worth, I don't know, man, just say 75 cents. It was, it's the little nuances like that that he is extremely good at. Anybody can trade. It's the little things that you can add to your trades, in my opinion, that'll make you a much more well-rounded and a much more profitable trader. Do you agree with that, Garen?
Oh yeah. How he can jump into these low floats before they actually move, and before the volume comes in and it moves and you miss out, he can usually get into them.
Right. So to where
in my particular case, I'm just going to go back to a longer time frame here. I don't know. So like with me, I need to see, and this chart's going the ass backwards way, but all right. So for me, imagining this is a 1 minute chart, I need to see, this happen, then this happen, then this happen, and then I can take it long. Where he's, and what I would do is I would take it long for the break here, right? Volume comes in, we come up here, we top out, we pull back, candle comes up for the break, I'm in, and then I'm out. But in his case, he's coming in here. Let me go to a 1 day, 5 minute, 5 day, 1 minute. He's coming in here, buying here, and literally catching. You know what? Here's a perfect example. Pixie. Like, he'll come in and read this chart and tell you to go long down here. You'll watch volume come in it, and then you'll hold it, and then you'll watch volume come in it. To me, that's extremely difficult. And this is one of the ones they did the other day. This isn't the right day. In fact, I can show you the right day. Basically, he called this. He called the push, and then at the end of the day, I think options or something were expiring on it, and he basically called it here, and we took it long all the way up here. It was a beautiful call. Now, did it dump? Yeah, it dumped. But in a nutshell, we rode from here to pretty much up in here. And there was another one, I can't remember what it was. It was a low volume one. Might have been, I can't remember. I'd have to look at my trades from the other day, but regardless. Anyone have anything that's got a little bit more volume to it that we can do? And whoever it was that asked that, it's not that you can't trade those, because you can absolutely trade them. It's just when you have no volume like that, you can
jump into the Discord, Young. We're in there all the time.
Like this.
No, Spartan doesn't trade forex. He's purely equities and options.
Support and resistance points before you go getting in bed with it, because
I'll be right back.
If you, depending on your size, at 81 cents, you enter this candle at 79 cents, and then it pops up to 81 cents, or vice versa. You enter in up here, and next thing you know, you done lost 10 cents, and you're in something with no volume. You might sit there for 3 hours waiting for it to move, and then it might dump.
Do Neo on the open? NIO. Tron was pretty active, I think, on the 19th.
Well, let's see.
EGC, of course, TIVA.
Yeah, I got this stupid, come on, stock bought, stock.
Just check the description down below. Stock. It's forwards trading.
Yeah. How about let's do?
They're saying alt. David says alt from the text or voice or the chat.
Alt.
Yeah.
Yeah, alt's not bad. 19th was on the watch list.
I think alt. That was the big day alt moved. Yeah, I think, didn't Spartan call this? Did you pick this up on your scanner, Skyler?
I think that was when I was in the airport. It got halted a couple of times. I think that's why it hit the scanner.
Hey guys, I really enjoyed this. It was very informative. I gotta hit the hay, man. You guys have a great night.
All right, so here's all at the open. Just got to get Stockpot to disappear and I'll play it. All right, so before we even get started here, let's do this. Let's go back 1 day, 1 year. All right, so we're down at all-time lows. They just did a 1 in 30 reverse split. So usually what happens when reverse splits happen is you're going to get price action somewhere in here. So we got our 1 day, 1 year. And let's do a 5 day, 5 minute. All right, so right now what we've got from looking at this, and again, I'm not the best at these, the ones that don't have a lot of volume, but we've obviously got resistance at 450, 467. I guess I can draw these. All right, so I just drew a few support and resistance lines real quick. What we're looking for right now is we're looking for the range break right here. So this mark of $4.48, 450, that's going to be our position where if we're going to take this trade, we're going to look to take it above that point. And the reason being is because yesterday at the close, price came down, hit $4.20, but we were up here at this 448, 450 mark, and you see a lot of this price right here is here at that 450 mark, and it's kind of where we caught support at the previous day when it opened. If you look back to the day before that, we've got 467. You know, we've got some resistance here. So in this particular case, me personally, I'd probably be looking for it to go long above $5, just because it's a whole number. And here we go at the open. We've been gapped up already, so we're at 460. So waiting. If we're just going to say, hey, let's just try the open on something, we'll do the open on this, and maybe they open on something with a little bit more volume. But again, we've got our support and resistance marks. We've opened. We're above it already. So what we're going to do in this case is I want to see it long over $5 before I get involved.
Purely price action, Dervis. He's entirely a price action VWAP trader. He doesn't really use
so it's got a lot
any
of
kind of indicators other than that. He's old school trading.
You know, it's just diluted. So I think we're halted right now. Let's fast forward a little bit. All right, so here we go, 480. All right, so I did fast forward it. So right now, there we go. We're above $5. I would have taken it long above $5, like I said. So I'm not going to rewind it just to say it, but you know what? There's our chance. Let me pause it too. All right, you see this right here? Come on, thing, go away. P&L, 500 shares. We're down $100 just from pressing the enter button. Our problem is this. Look at our spreads. It's tightened up now, but it was a pretty deep. I mean, we got a 38-cent spread, 34-cent spread. So that's something else you got to watch out for on these low flows. You got to watch your spreads here. If your spreads are, you might have $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 spreads on this thing, and you gotta watch your spreads before you go getting into these low floats. And then in addition to that, you don't want to go too heavy, because if it's low volume and you go in and you buy 10,000 shares of a 8-cent stock. Well, that wouldn't matter, but 10,000 shares of a stock and it doesn't have volume, you're going to have difficulty selling. You got to find buyers too. All right, so we broke our $5. We're long. Boom, there you go. Trade's working. Here's our next resistance point right here. See that line drawn across right here? That's our close from the previous day. Well, the previous day. And there you go. We broke it. So trade looks good. We broke that one. Next stop. Right here. See this? Where I'm drawing that little line at right here? That's our next stop. From there, up here. From there, up here. There. There. And then once we break $9, it's game over. So I think we're halted right now. Let's go ahead and fast forward. There you go. You hit your resistance point. And what happened? You get your immediate pullback. Fast forward again. All right, so I'll just explain this even though we're past it. All right, so we broke out, came up, immediately got rejected down. People sold. Got up, hit price target. People say, give me my money. Boom, comes down. Price gets bought back up again, holds this $6.42 mark. So here again, that was our support and resistance point. You see these candles. And then if you look over here, that's your range break for high a day. So technically, if you wanted to really, really be technical, you wait till well, that was the previous day, but you wait till your range breaks and you go long. All right, so there we are, we're long. We just broke our $7 mark. We're holding $7. Price is above it, candle closes. So again, if you're not in yet, this one's really risky, but if you're not in yet, you're at a key resistance point, you go long. This is extended in my opinion. Now, I think we know what happened with this, but you really want to be in here at this $6.40, $6, or really this $5 mark is really your entry. So we'll fast forward it. All right, so now, remember back here what I said? $9, that's your key support. That's your key mark right here. You get past $9, let's just pause this. You get above that $9 mark, your next real stop is up here at $20. This is a big void between here and here. Doesn't look like a lot, but that's a big void. Price traded in it never, there's no real stops in between. So let's just see.
I do. This depends on the person.
And there you go. Hit $9. Key support and resistance point. Gets that high, fails. Kind of like TLRY did the other day, or even Roku. A lot of these stocks, when they go up there and they hit up there at those highs, a lot of times you're going to see people sell, and you're going to get a pullback. So if you don't get the chance to get in something, wait till it gets up here, pulls back, buy the pullback, and go for the long. So let's just say it catches support down here at this $8.10. You go long here, and again, I haven't watched the chart enough, and it is a low float, but in a normal high volume float, shares churning, find your support mark and go. Don't buy this. This is stupid. These are noobs. These are the people that lose money. So the way I like to think of it is experienced trader, well, phenomenal trader, experienced trader, learning trader, new trader. So let's fast forward and see what happens. So there you go. See, we're holding that $8 mark, caught support. So you either do one of two things. Like I said, you take it long here off of your support mark, or you can wait until we break high a day again. Problem is that, the more extended you get, the more likely taking high a day position breakouts, they're not going to happen. So let's say you're using, I don't know, Tesla or Roku or PayPal or something like that, and you're at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and you're reaching highs. I'm not saying it's not going to break out and run, because they do, but you're not going to get the authority from, say, here to here. You might get 10 cents, 30, you might get 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents, $1, which is a great move, but you're not going to get this.
Hi, Tesla.
This is not normal. So let's just fast forward and see what happens. There you go. You failed your key support mark. So she's coming down. At this point in time, I'd be looking to get back in the trade right here. This $6.37. We had all this consolidation right here. This is my spot. That or here if we hold. Yeah, I think volume just died out for the rest of the day. So basically you could, again, if you're holding here, you got the VWAP above, you're really going to be looking for price to stay here, get above the VWAP, candle close above the VWAP, and then run. Now, this is probably a perfect example of, here's your 200 SMA. I know what happened to this later in the afternoon because we just looked at it, but if we look back or fast forward, you may see price come down, hit this 200 SMA, and then just booyah, take off. So let's just fast forward to see where it did that at. So in this case, it just used the VWAP. So we came down, we failed the VWAP, tested the VWAP here, and this is why I don't like stocks with very low volume, because you get this gap, just gap down, low volume. Come up, still not crossing the VWAP, you're holding price at 711. Volume dies out, comes down a little, you're holding price. All right, you crack your VWAP, right? Boom, price closes above it right here with this candle. You take it long here, comes up, dances, but you're still holding the VWAP all this time, still holding the VWAP, still holding the VWAP. Finally, it decides, volume comes in. See this? Volume comes in. When you're looking for a price to move, you need the volume to come in. Look at these huge volume bars. Look what happens here. Huge volume. Boom. So price holds off the VWAP, consolidates, and then it explodes. So through the end of the day, you got VWAP here. Again, I don't know if it'll hold or not, but that's basically what you got. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Sell. And let's do, I don't know, let's do cat. All right, so I'm going to pause it real quick, if I can. Come on, please don't move too much. All right, it is paused. All right, so again, before you start your day, all right, this is Carter Caterpillar. Before you start your day, what are you going to look at? You're going to look at the stock. You're going to go back 1 day, 1 year, or a 30-day chart, 1 hour, 30 days, something. You need to look at the previous history. So this looks good. This looks really good. We got a 200 SMA coming up. Right now we're pinched on that 200 SMA. If we get through that 200 SMA, we got good support. If you look at the chart, we had a big downtrend. Came up, tested, came down, tested the lows. We've kind of reversed here. Got a good reversal pattern, kind of a little bit of a doji. You got your explosion. You're building up pressure right now, okay? You're building pressure. You got a big explosion. You got your doji. Building your compression. Got a good candle. Here we go. All right, so what we got, it's my dog, sorry. 200 SMA here, so it didn't look like we had much pre-market. So where's our support and resistance? Where are we going to take this long? That's what we have to decide. Where do we want to go long? So let's go back. 1 day, 1 minute. So in this particular case, it's solid. I mean, we got a good trend. We opened above yesterday's close. Let's just push play. All right. So this is good. What we want to see on a situation like this is we really don't want it to just open and run. We kind of want it to open and give us a little bit of pullback or something to work with. When they just run, unless you just get in at the open, they're really hard. In this particular case, what I'm going to say is, all right, so we came down. We got a good candle. We're getting ready to break highs. We're at 149.76. I'm going to use a whole number. If this gets to 150, we're going to take it long. If it breaks down here at this we'll go with pre-market. So we'll go 149. If we break 149, we go short. So that's our decision here. There we go. We're pushing. We're pushing. Looking for that whole number break. Watching the level 2s, watching the time and sales. We're close. I'm long. There you go. There's your breakout. Holding. Ah, shit. Sorry, guys. All right, so we're good. We broke out. That's where we went long. Still good. Normally, I would have looked to take some profits up here, but I'm kind of trying to push so many buttons at one time. I didn't do it. But usually on that initial pop, I do like to try and take some profits. Because you figure if we got in at 150, the pop, even if we could have gone out at 180, we still could have made 60 cents quick like. So we didn't get out. So we're holding, no big deal. We're going to hold until we get to $150, and that's our stop loss at this point in time. But really what we're looking for is we want this thing to rock up here. We want it to break this 150. Let's just go back to I'll let it do this thing real quick. I want to go back to the daily. So in a situation like this, a lot of times I'll go back to the daily again, 1 day, 1 year. And we technically had a gap to fill. Oh, we filled that the other day. Well, there's a good example. Here you go. We got a gap right here from 151 to 152.86. I didn't see that before, but that's a gap. So the way the rules work on gaps is, I don't know the statistic exactly, but just say 80% of gaps close. So we've got to enter a gap right here between the dailies. Chances are price is going to fill that gap. We just can't have gaps in price. So let's just see. We'll go back out of here. Go to 1 minute. So now that I know we have a gap to fill above, I'm feeling good about this. I'm looking to fill that gap. Can't remember what I said the number was. I think I said, 152? What was our gap at? From 151 to 150, almost 153. So we got room to go in this trade. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take some here. wanted to take 200, not 100. All right, so we're out 200. It's looking good. If you didn't get in for this breakout, don't chase it. Let it go. Normally when they spike, they come down a little bit. You're going to watch. You get your indecision candle. Come down to the VWAP. You can take it long off of this flag, okay? Just because you missed this doesn't mean there's a mini flag here. Just because you missed this doesn't mean you missed the trade. It's 9:15 and 9:40 in the morning. You know, at that time it was 9:35, whatever. So you got your flag. You went long. You're starting to top out. We haven't quite filled that gap yet, but that gap is right up here at this 152 to 154. So I fully expect, I'm sorry, 152.50. I fully expect this gap is going to get filled. Maybe not on this run, but that gap's going to get filled. So let's just, for the sake of time right now, just see what happens. There it is. I think that's your gap fill right there. 152. I didn't draw a line. Yep. Close. You got about 50, 60 cents to go. So I honestly expect to see another 50 or 60 cents out of this to fill that intraday gap. We're close enough. So just to see, let's go to 3 o'clock. There you go. There's your gap fill. So this is where we were at this morning. And let me just close this so I don't have a bunch of crap open. All right. So we came in, broke high a day at this point, pulled back. Right, this is our trend line we drew. You see your difference between, look, see your resistance, previous support became resistance. You see it? Hitting, 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 not breaking it. Finally, we get up, we break it. In this particular case, if you were looking to take this for a breakout a high a day, what you do is this comes down, pulls back. You either take it off your 152.14 here, where it's got your support mark for the break your support, or preferably
Yeah, it is a bit overwhelming. Clocked.
And take it long above this 152 mark, you know, right here. Go long here. This is a perfect example of a quote-unquote fake out, though, because you did everything right. You take it long, price shoots up, and then comes back down again. You just don't have any range to make any money with from this point of a breakout. I'm trying to draw a line. All right, so if you were to break this and go long, if you see, you got a support and resistance point here. Look, price just kind of comes in, touches, 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 goes up, touches. So it doesn't really go anywhere. Basically, it takes this big move, and then it just consolidates the rest of the day. You don't really, you had really no trade to take here. You didn't. So after the open on CAT, you had nothing else you could have done. Sure, I guess you could have got in here and caught yourself a little something, but again, we don't want this, guys. We want to be the guys, we want to be the traders that are coming in and selling to this. Or came in, you held through this, came back up, spiked, it didn't fail, so you got a double top, so now you're selling into all this chop. You're out of it. After this part here, from 10:30 in the morning, if you took this trade, you're done. That's it. This is all you. That's all you're trading right there. Done. You got 80% of the move. You made a couple few $100, and you go about your day. You're done trading. Because again, what happens? This. I don't know about any of you guys, but I don't want to be a part of this. This right here pisses me off. This is when I get bored. You got your capital tied up. You're not watching other tickers that are moving, and literally you're just sitting here making no money, risking a huge amount for nothing. Versus getting in here, you got your pull. You know, it comes in, it pulls down at the open, comes up. You're taking it long for the range break. Boom, boom. Now again, in this particular case, you got 150 right above, and it didn't give you much range, so I would have waited for the break of the whole dollar. But look what happens when it breaks 150. Look at this candle. Everybody else is doing the same thing, guys. You want to be on the same page as the rest of the traders, and all the traders out there that were watching Cat this day, they all saw the same thing. Yeah, sure, you got some guys that bought it here. What they came down and they figured, hey, it caught support off yesterday's close, or didn't get to yesterday's close, I'll buy it. But most traders waited for the break of 150. When price hit 150, everybody bought. Bam, there it is, 80-cent move. And technically, you buy in at 150, say you bought 300 shares at 150 or 200 shares at 150. On this initial pop, I like to try and sell half or a third. I really like to sell half. Now, I would have missed out a good little bit, but I would have also locked in 80 cents worth of profit, gone through this consolidation, and then took it long again right here. So we got long, you're out, consolidation, you flag, and then you take it long again for the break. So in a micro time frame, that's what you're doing. You're here, you got your range break of 150, boom, you're in, you sell half, coming in, consolidates, got your flag, comes up, breaks trend again, breaks range, boom, you're in, sell a little bit, pulls back. Again, you could have taken it long for the break again, but that's a little crazy. You just want to get in, stay long, add to your trade here, ride it up, and then just be out right here. You're done. This is your trade from here to here. That's it. That's you. You're in and you're all out right here. When you break down here, this 152 mark, you're out. You're done. Trade's over. So, I don't know if anybody else has anything they want to ask or do, but I think somebody just put up Tesla. We can do one more open, just real quick, though. We're going to fast forward through it. So here we go, Tesla. Let's look at our 1 day, 1 year. This is the last one we're going to do, guys. I'm getting tired. All right, so Tesla. Here we go.
Double check. That looks like Caterpillar.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering why I had lines there. I'm like, damn, it's got the freaking 200 SMA on that one, too? All right, this one's a lot busier, and I trade Tesla a lot, so it's going to be hard for y'all to see, but whatever. Okay, so I already have support and resistance lines drawn on this, guys, because I trade Tesla a lot, so let's just go to the daily. All right, 1 day, 1 minute. All right, so we'll just do this. So what we're looking for, all right, if we're going to go short, we want price below 278.30, and in this particular case, I really want to see it break 278, because again, you got whole dollars and half dollars matter a lot more on your bigger stocks, bigger dollar stocks. I mean, it's whole dollar, half dollar. That's going to be resistance points. Then, of course, any place that you've got resistance on the chart. So right here, that's a resistance point. Right here, that's a support or resistance point. Right here, same. Here, low a day. Here, all these points all correlate back into time on Tesla as far as support and resistance points. Breaking news, nothing matters. I mean, you get breaking news and this dumb shit happens, and there's nothing to do about breaking news, but hope you're on the right side, and if not, get the hell out of the way. All right, so what we're looking for is either the break of 278. Is that what we said? 270, yep. So if we're going to go short, we want to take it for the break of 278. Looking to surpass low a day from yesterday. if we're going to go long, where are we at right now? Price is 281. All right, so if we're going to go long, we really, to be safe with Tesla, you really want to see it get up here above this, above yesterday's close. So let's just let it play and see kind of how we get there and what happens. As soon as this stupid Discord message goes away because it's right in front of my button. All right, here we go. So we're playing Tesla. Open up, we get a pop. She's looking good. She's holding. Trying to get the sleepies out her eyes. Strong. Not liking what I see right now. Still no trade. Again, we don't want to get stuck in the bullshit. We want the breakout. We don't want the bullshit. Don't care if it's an up or a down breakout. We just don't want the chop. So with this consolidation right here, what you could do, I'm not saying it's a great idea, but you can take it. This is like a big flag right here, okay? It's what's forming as a big flag. We got VWAP below and the 200, so we're holding price. It's a big old flag. We can go long here for the flag break. But I would not go big size if you're doing this. And if you're going to go long here for the flag break, then you need to use your 200 or your VWAP as a get the hell out of Dodge. It's very, you don't have, this is where a lot of traders get burned, guys. Right now, it looks like it's going, it does, it looks like it's going to bull flag. So you take it long. There's your bull flag. And it's working. Now, what we said before was, we would take it long up in this area. But what was our rule earlier? Price has to open and hold above it, right? We opened and came through it. So technically that one came up and opened above it, but it violated it too. So again, if you took it long off this bull flag, you're still in a good spot. I mean, you could be taking profits right now. For me, for Tesla to move, well, that's $3. I mean, we should have took it long right here. This flag break, take it long. To me, $3 move in Tesla is just not enough. Me and Leg talk about this. When I trade like Tesla or, I don't know, Tilray or any of these stocks like this that move a lot, I'm looking for $5, $7, $8, $9, $10 moves. I really don't want to be in the $1 to $3 moves because they're really still chop. So we haven't got in yet. We haven't broke price either. Up here, we're struggling. She's got a good bull flag. Again, yes, you could have got a $3 move right here. So if you take this flag, big post, consolidation, explosion. Got your 200 on below, so you're good. Everything looks good. Me personally, like I said, I probably wouldn't have taken it. If you didn't take it here, you have no business jumping in it here. Okay? Just, it's extended. So let's see what happens. We'll find an entry for it. Just, to me, that wasn't our entry. And I might be, I might be wrong. Like I said, you could have taken it long here, and you could have got 3 points out of it. Your risk at that point in time, if you would have taken it long here, your stop would have been, I like to keep tight stops, but my stop would have been right here at 282, which isn't a lot of room on Tesla, I know, but I'm either wrong or I'm right. I don't leave $2 and $3 and $4 stops to find out if I'm right. I'm a breakout or breakdown trader, so I expect that when I enter, I want it to move in my favor pretty much right away. And if I don't, I start to question myself. So let's see. What do I mean by extended? That's just, I feel like that's extended from our breakout point. When I said, hey, if I was going to enter, you buy it right now, right here. From this point to this point, it's extended to me. We're looking for a pullback at this point in time because our next resistance point is way up here. And we pulled back. So, I mean, like I said, we'll get an entry on it. Just give it a few minutes. When Tesla takes off, guys, it takes off up here. Like, this is not, it's a move, but that's not Tesla taking off. Now, if you would have bought it right out the gate, that's one thing, but you're not going to get this. The only way you're getting this is if you buy pre-market, and if you bought pre-market, your risk would have been 278. So you would have been buying that, you would add a $2 risk at that point. Buy at the open, your risk is right here. So in this case, I don't know, Tesla might have left without us, guys. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm cautious. Let's see what happens here. In fact, let's, yeah, see, we're topping out. Right now, what we've done is we've got pretty much a triple top. So for the sake of time, we're going to fast forward. All right, so we came down, we tested the VWAP, another good entry, VWAP, okay? So we could have come down, tested the VWAP, candle came up, closed above the VWAP, closed above our support. We could have taken it long. Me personally, I'm looking for the breakout here. At this point in time, I'm not going in this until we get a breakout. I want to see the break of 288. At the break of 288, I'm a long player. Until that, Tesla's going to go without me.
Hey Jason, we're just doing some back testing, community back testing. So you can, if you're wanting to practice trading, you can follow along with the stream.
Again, if you would have entered here long at the VWAP, or again at the for this flag, you still wouldn't be in bad shape. Price is holding, but you're holding through this crap. This is the stuff I don't want to be a part of. I don't like this. That's just my way of trading. That being said, this might be our entry too. So price hits the VWAP. Let's I'm feeling like Came up. It's the VWAP. All right. If we don't violate VWAP, well, so much for that. Let's see how it goes here. Failing VWAP. All right. We've got support here if it holds. Where my little pointer thing is at. I don't want to draw any more lines on here because I use these. All right, so we're looking good. Price is above the VWAP. Strong candle. Tesla don't burn me. See if we hold. We're holding. Holding. Held VWAP good there. See what happens here. I'm long. I got a shit entry, but let's see what happens. Got a bit of a crap entry. I really wanted to be down here, but let's see what happens. Looking good, looking strong. Oh, Tesla can be a pretty big pain sometimes. Not looking good for the home team right now. Come on. I really want to see, at this point in time, to feel comfortable, I really want price above this 286.
Yeah, back to paper, Joe.
There we go. Come on. And that doesn't look pretty. All right, come on. This is what we need. We need this break. If we don't break, then I'm going to be looking to just go ahead and start liquidating my position. There we go. We need to hold. There we go. There we go. There we go. Sold 100.
No, this is live, Joel.
All right, so we broke here too. That was just a big candle.
the YouTube stream is delayed. It's about 30 seconds. But you can follow along. You can follow along with the stream. So if you want to backtest, he's backtesting 919 right now, ticker Tesla. And if you want to practice, you can turn on your backtesting software, sync your time with the stream, and he can commentate with you, and you can follow along. So it's a good way for newbies to practice.
So any big pullback, there we go, there's the break. I just took 50 more, just because I feel like we've got some resistance right here. And there's our pullback. So that being said, since our entry was down here, I mean, I'm really not looking to hold this right now. I'll do it just for the sake of a couple of minutes, but in a normal world, if this breaks, I'll just be all
This is Skyler Perry. He's a 15-year day trader, and
I'd be looking for a new entry.
He's a price action VWAP trader. He's purely like old school, just straight chart trader, and he's really good.
So it comes up. We got our double top.
He's helped me out a lot, and I trust his advice. That's why I'm hosting and streaming it right now.
Too early, but I'm not looking to hold all day, guys.
Hey Motley.
I'm looking for this.
This is TOS. Bigger swim.
I'll look for another one of these. I'll look for a good dump at the end. I'll look, you know, I'll give what the chart gives me to play. But, you know, given this being Tesla, with Tesla, I always feel like, you know, price likes to come back to $300. I don't care where it's at. Price kind of likes to go to 300. So technically, if it breaks out here, you can go long again. Let's see what would have happened. So that would have given you a fake out. It would have come up, broke. Price didn't really close above it, so you shouldn't have took it yet. Would have come down, up, down, up. You'd be in now or close to now. And there's your breakout. So you would have bought in here. Comes up, closes, and you'd have been on for the ride for $1 roughly. The later in the day it gets, the shorter your breakouts are going to be. And you know, this thing may come down, consolidate, and go up. Come down, consolidate, and go up. It might do it. You know, and that's the thing with letting your winners run. Now, let's say that we did enter this thing in the beginning, although we entered under here. Let's say we entered here, whatever. So we've got our profits. We got a good position. We're holding. You can let this run. These last shares, I wouldn't let this much. Well, I would, but if you have a smaller account, obviously wouldn't. You know, you let 10 shares or whatever it is run all day long, and you just say, hey, look, I'm going to give it back until if 285 was our entry, 285.70. So we're in this thing real good. So 285.70, this is our entry right here. How'd it go? 285.70, here's our entry. I'd almost give this thing back to, say, I don't know, 288 and just draw a line in the sand at 288. And if the price doesn't come back to 288, you're golden, dude. You're in it for the ride up to 302 or 305, however high this thing goes. If price comes back down to there, you made a little bit of money on your last remaining shares. No, you didn't capitalize on it. It wasn't the best in the world. Could have got out, made a lot more money. But if it does go up and you get all out right here, you're not going to have all this. So one of the things I like to say is, you know, take your partial, get up here, you know, let a little bit more go, but leave a little something to let the trade play out. You'd be surprised. I've been in trades before where, you know, I've got 100 shares, and those 100 shares are worth $300, $400, $500 just because I let them go since the time that we got in it in the beginning all day long. So let's just see what would happen if we let 50 go today. Worst case, we know our stop, right? We're out, what do we say, 287.50 roughly? So we'll call 287.50 our stop. 287.50 was our stop. Right here, where the thing's at. So in this particular case, if we would have bought into our position and held and just drew a
My
line
girl
in the
fell
sand
asleep.
at
Somebody eat her
287.50, we
food.
still would have had profit, but we would have held no matter what. Even though price came down right here and almost stopped us out, it didn't. So we're at 287.50. We got 50 shares, guys, and it's still riding through the end of the day. And look at this. 50 shares worth $650. So if it was 10 shares, take that and divide it out. It's just, you're in a really good sweet spot. And at this point in time, if we're here at the end of the day, we got these double tops like this, consolidation, I'm probably looking just to get out at this point in time. I don't really care if I get, and look at that, price return to 300, 289. I really don't care about the dollar or two. I mean, I do, but the recoil is that Tesla does this, and you lose all that. So hard stop, 287.50. Hard stop, hard stop. Let the rest run, and there you go. And let's just fast forward to see. If it would have dumped or not. Why didn't that work?
I don't think he has a Twitter.
Okay, so in this particular case, we would have been fine. It didn't dump or anything like that. But that just shows you the power of leaving a little bit of something to go do the work for you. I mean, this is wrong. We didn't make this much, obviously. But, if you would have entered with 50 shares at 285.70 at the beginning of the day where we took this trade, right? And we took it at a safe place. Price never, ever came down and gave us a problem. From this point forward, we never had to worry about this trade. This could have been a good entry, sure. You would have had to go through the emotional, where we went in at. We have our trend line, the break. We never really had a feeling, yeah, this sucks to lose this, but you're still so far in the good.
Probably right, Cricks. I don't know enough about Tesla.
You're just in the trade.
Confirm that,
Let the trade go. Trust the trade. Trust the trend. The trend is your friend. Don't go against the trend.
Tesla's not doing good fundamentally.
So that's about it. I don't know. It's been we've had a long session tonight. It's been almost 3 hours now. Hopefully this helps some of you. If there's anything for our next little back test we do, I would have liked.
Did you guys like this back test? Let Skyler know. This is his first live stream and everything.
Shorter and look at stocks for tomorrow and stuff, but for now I think we're probably about done.
I'll post this to YouTube.
I appreciate the lesson, man.
Yeah, man, no problem, dude. Like I said, if there's anything else that we're trading during the day and y'all have questions, I'm certainly not a professional trader. I never claim to know everything, but I try and teach y'all the best I can and tell you the things that I do that work for me. Everybody trades differently. There's no wrong way or right way. Somebody could have got in Tesla here short and, made your 3 points. But just like I said, me personally, I'm looking for the bigger move. I don't want to be involved in this unless if I'm riding it.
I am.
I don't want this. I don't want to go up and down and up and down.
I'm live streaming and hosting. I'm live streaming every day, Stockboy, and I host other day traders that I feel are competent and skilled on my YouTube every day. Well, not every day, but I host them. I live stream every day and I host.
We can do like
but
think or
swim
lesson or something if anybody needs
I'm
that.
usually in my own server on the opening bell. Like right now, these guys
drawing trend lines and all that stuff, but.
And Skyler are in Hangout 1.
Thank you for.
Usually we're all in live trading on the opening bell. And then I'm also in Spartan Trading community and course, which I listen to him on mic as well. So, and I'll be hosting him a lot now.
Please like, subscribe, leave comments if you want to join us. We're in a Discord room. The Discord room is on. If you go search Garen Phillips, his YouTube page has the links to the Discord in it, but it's called Forge Trading.
The guy has really
But
helped
yeah,
out.
if you don't mind, like, listen, subscribe, do all that good stuff, leave comments, and
Sure,
see
Joel.
you
Just
later.
DM
Thank
me
you, guys.
on
Appreciate
Discord.
it.
There's a link in the description for our Discord. Just DM me your info.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man, that was fun, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Chat liked it.
helped some people. I thought you were gone, Garen. I didn't know you were here still.
I'm working, but I got like my headset around my neck. I can kind of hear it.
Gotcha. At least I didn't bomb any of them. I was like so nervous I was gonna fucking bomb Tesla in the end, dude. I was like, man, I don't want to do Tesla. This is like the one I don't want to do.
Hey, Garen, what were the stats on that video? How many people were watching at the top? At one point, I thought it was like 90 something.
Between Twitch and YouTube, I think you hit like 99 or 100 and then it kind of dropped down because people started going to bed. You ended at like 70.
Wow. Damn. Yeah, you normally have a lot of viewers, dude. Like when we're doing that during the day and you're streaming.
Yeah, we got up to 200 per minute.
I was going to say, I thought it was around a couple hundred. And we had, at one point in time, we were pushing probably 15, 20 people in the, in the, whatever room, in the, in the Discord room.
Yeah. I think as I make more videos promoting the Discord and all that and the stream, you'll see a lot more people. Because we weren't even, it was kind of like behind curtains for the start.
Right.
Soft launch.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Hopefully, like I said, more so than obviously the viewers and all that stuff, just hopefully it helped people, that's the key.
Yeah, they were saying some people that were liking it. We got some new traders in here.
I know it wasn't 101, but it was new enough to where people could see, hey, that's a trend break, this is a trend line, and I don't really use trend lines. Like that guy that was asking to use a MACD and all that stuff. How do you trade with it? Oh, I don't use that shit, dude. I never have. So like for you to do a video maybe that has trend lines and explanations of trend lines and the fib and all that stuff, because you use that shit a hell of a lot better than I do.
Yeah, everybody has their own style. I've wanted to do a video where I compare and contrast a bunch of different traders, like polar opposites. Like Ricky, he's an oscillator trader. You're a price action trader. Spartan's an EMA trader, and I'm a losing trader.
Nah, that ain't true. You're just getting to where you're getting comfortable. That's all. You really didn't lose anything yet.
If you have the live account, Jeremy, if you're on your live account, not paper account, top right corner on demand, click that button.
I'm going to here in a few minutes. My wife just got home from New York with the kids, so I'm probably going to go help her get some luggage in the house real quick. And after that, I'll probably, I don't know, Leggy and I usually do it.
What are you guys doing?
Around, I don't know, he might have gone to bed. We kind of usually go over picks for tomorrow, just stuff that we're going to look at or, look for. Anything that might be interesting.
Okay, I got to get off here and take a shower and get ready, go to bed. But if anybody wants to join that, you can jump into the Discord and they'll be in the post-market channel. I'll show it to you right here.
You're still streaming?
Yeah, I'm still streaming. Yeah, if you guys, right here, Post-Market Lounge, they'll probably be in there talking about post-market picks. And then usually they post their watch lists in the watch list channel.
All right, I'm probably going to join that in a couple minutes. I'll see you guys there.
Yeah, man, it'll be a few minutes before like I said, my wife and kids just got home, so I need a few minutes to say hi to them. But
Yep.
After that, I'm game.
I'm gonna shut down the stream. All right, thanks guys for watching. We're gonna try to do this to be a scheduled thing every Sunday night. You know, a lot of people do post-market stock watch. We'll probably do a combination of, you know, maybe like an hour back testing and then an hour of post-market looking for trades. That way, newbie traders, you guys watching that are wanting to gain experience, you can practice trade and you can have the commentary of a skilled trader like Skyler. And I want to get Spartan in here. I think he'd be fantastic to have in here for a back testing session. But that gives you guys a way to practice Sunday night and get ready for Monday. And then on top of that, we can do some post-market analysis and you guys can find some picks and stuff to potentially play for the week. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, jump into the Discord. Read through the new members section. I've been editing it and stuff, but it kind of explains the server build, and there's a lot of functionality in our server. It's not just, you know, it's not like most servers that you probably joined. We have a rank system, and we have a lot of bots that do some things. You can subscribe to certain calls. For example, I think, let's see what I do. In badge request, you can request a whole bunch of different badges from our bots, and then anytime somebody pings these roles, you'll get a message. So like if we're live trading and somebody is going long in a position, they can ping long, and anybody that's subscribed to long will get a ping and a notification that that person is going long in that position. And then we also have private channels for people that want to, you know, if you're a video gamer, or if you trade crypto or Forex, or if you're a scripter, we have private channels that you can't access as a regular member unless you request it from the bots. And then we have an entire education section for it's controlled by rank. So this is FNGs and PFNG, or sorry, this is newbie traders and new joins, and then this is member trader and apprentice traders, and then this is specialist traders. So we organize our resources based on rank. But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow on the live stream or in the next video. Hope you guys have a good night. And you kind of didn't see that now that I'm looking at it. Yeah.